Hey, Brock, guess what?
What?
The Super Bowl is less than a week away, and I believe we will not be getting a trailer for Episode 9, The Force Dies.
You ruined the news.
I said I don't believe. I didn't say it was sure.
That is true. Sports.
But, you know, well, last year we had to sit through and wait for the Solo trailer, and then I did the video with Andrew at halftime, and you were drunk. You were on a drunken stupor.
No, I was making everyone watch it over and over again.
Yeah, Josh was in a drunken stupor. He was in Philadelphia when the Eagles won that Super Bowl last year. This year, though, that's what it's looking like. Anyway, I'm James. You're Brock. This is the Rebel Scum podcast. How you doing, Brock?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm really dark, actually. I thought it was brighter. I gotta move my light. Eventually I will. How are you doing?
Oh, you know, just living the dream, one step at a time. I just got back from Florida. Oh, shoot. I forgot to bring something down into the studio, but whatever.
You want to go get it? We can wait.
No. It's just another action figure. I got a General Veers.
Amazing.
Walgreens exclusive. Very cool figure, because, like, it doesn't look like him, and then you look over at his accessories. He's got the helmet for the ATs that goes on top of something. He's like, oh, there he is. So
yeah, you send me a picture of that. It looked pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to add it to my Stormtrooper collection of the Imperials. If you can see it on the video right now. But yeah, it was exciting. I went to a Walgreens, like, because you have to go to Walgreens when you're Canadian and you're in America, because we don't have it. And you're like, how does this drugstore have so many toys? So yeah, I almost bought a pop as well, but, like, I just had to be an adult and buy one toy, and I did it. And I'm happy, you know.
But I gotta talk to you, because I haven't spoken to you since you got back from Florida. You did do the Disney trip, right?
Yes, we went to Disney again.
What park? At more than one, or just Magic Kingdom? Where'd you go?
Magic Kingdom, of course, because, like, you can't really go to Orlando and not go to, or at least you can't go to the parks and not go to Magic Kingdom. But then we also went to Epcot, and I've never been there before, so that was exciting.
Did you do anything special at Epcot? Anything memorable?
No, not really. We just went on more rides that we didn't go on last time. Have you ever heard about Hidden Mickeys by chance?
Yep. Oh yeah, I almost when I went in October, I almost bought the book for my nieces and nephew, but I decided not to, and instead I created my own Hidden Donald game, which they were obsessed about. But yeah, Hidden Mickey is pretty cool. Did you do that?
Yeah, I found a few, most of them that I was told where to look for, so it's pretty wild. I like it because it's like there's no rules to it, because it's not really a Disney sanctioned thing. They're like no one at Disney's like, yeah, it's here, and here, and here, and here, and here.
But they do sell the book there. They do sell the book.
That's true.
It kind of like guides you where to go.
Yeah.
Hidden Mickey is really cool, but I didn't. Yeah, I decided I did a Hidden Donald thing, and if I ever went back with my nieces and nephew or kids again, I would definitely get the Hidden Mickey's book, because the Hidden Donald was such a hit, but it was BS, because I literally was just making it up.
Yeah. I took a few
so like an actual like.
I took a few pictures of Donald that I was gonna send back to you, but I forgot.
Oh, my heart is broken. Actually, 2 nights ago, Erin goes, "I got you something." I said, "What?" She goes, "This was supposed to be your Christmas gift," and she throws this bag at me, and in it is one of those hand sanitizers they sell at Disney World, but it's a Donald Duck like casing over it. She's like, "I forgot to give it to you for Christmas. Here you go." I was like, "This is the best gift ever. Christmas is better now." So it's pretty awesome. But did you experience any Star Wars while you were at the parks?
No, because I'm waiting for the Galaxy's Edge to open before I experience that. Plus, I can't go to more than like 2 parks on a visit. I did 3 last time. I was like, no. I mean, I guess I know I could do 4. Like all the parks in one visit, but then it kind of just, I was only there for 4 days, so it's like, well, I'm not going to go to a park every day.
It's cheaper to do 4 than 3 for us Canadians at the moment. I don't know how it is for anyone else in the world, but we have the CA. Oh, and after you came back, I heard there was like a special CAA deal as well, where they're like, if you call in, you get an extra $1 off. But I was gonna say, I think if you talking about possibly going to Disneyland in the summer, I would say, and I think they have the same, but the Hollywood Studios has most of the Star Wars stuff, and I will say, if you haven't done it, especially before the new park opens, check out Star Tours because it was pretty rad for like an old ride like that. It was, even Aaron was like it got you excited for the possibilities of what I'm sure you're going to be talking about in a 28-minute Star Wars experience. But it's such a small, it reminds me of an old Universal Studios ride, but it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't try. It's just afterwards you're like, that was a great time. And then you walk out. So I would if you do go, I'd recommend checking out Star Tours if you can. And since you're an adult, you should also meet BB-8 because they do have a meet BB-8 at Hollywood Studios. So, when you were at Epcot, did you go on the 3 Caballeros ride?
Yes, that one was
so good.
I was like, oh, we got to go on this Caballero ride, and it's somewhat hard to find, right? Because I like it. It was cool because it's like I guess they must have just renovated it because it had the whole not Moana, the Coco night market
the
in
Coco
there.
Stuff's there, yeah.
Oh, it was so cool, and the restaurant looked really cool. But we needed reservations, I think, so we didn't eat there, but we were really taken back. It's like, whoa, where are we? So I went on the ride. It was cool.
It's the same as every other ride.
Yeah, exactly. They really like to put you in boats.
Seriously, everything is like, go on this boat and just look at it, which is nice. I like boats and water, so it was nice. That one, my nephew had a great time on that one, which surprised me, and I was excited because it was Donald. I'm like, anytime you guys want to go on this ride, you just let me know. We'll go squawk along. Anyway, let's talk about Star Wars now, because while you were gone, Winter Star threw up some new information for us. Yeah, well, you know what we're talking about. And it was about Richard E. Grant and his possible role. And he did an interview with a magazine, and I can't remember the magazine. I'm so sorry. And he said, though, when he was there's a few things to this story that I really want to touch on, but I'll just mention the crux of the story first. And that is J.J. Abrams offered him the role, and he says, what's the role? J.J. Abrams said what the role was, and the room turned upside down. Brock, you know this story. What were your initial thoughts with this story?
Just like, sure it was. I mean, I don't want to be negative. That's exciting. Oh, then, I would say actors aren't really the judge. They could make that judgment call on if they're going to be a role is exciting, because they're kind of like, well, I'm excited about all the projects I work on. But as Star Wars fans, we're like, oh, it's got to be something cool like that. Like, they don't necessarily have to be Star Wars. Though a lot of people are Star Wars fans. I even think Richard E. Grant said he's always been wanted to be in a Star Wars film. So I'd only take it with a grain of salt, because what he might think is exciting won't be exciting to everyone else. Though, any news about people like, oh, you're gonna be shocked by this movie, you're like, it's gonna be great, is always good. So I don't know. I guess the question is, what is he gonna be, I suppose, right? Or I haven't really paid attention to theories on that. Besides,
neither have I. But here's what really got me with that is that he says that, I believe, and if I'm misquoting, let me know. But I believe he says, when he wasn't really told the part or anything, but he was told to watch a bunch of war movies or army propaganda films, or I'm not really sure what it was. It was one of those but something along those lines. That's what stood out to me the most in this. So the reality is, he's like, J.J. Abrams told me who it was, and the room turned upside down. Okay, so that could be anything from Rey's father to Snoke to Stormtrooper 22 that train fit. It could be anything. Any possibility is out there for what he could be. It doesn't necessarily mean it's someone that we've met. It's someone that we're going to meet. It could be a young Laura Santeca for all we know.
Ooh.
It could be, yeah, like that's the thing. It could be anybody because first of all, you don't even know who was in that room.
Yeah.
Who it was a Star Trek fans in that room, and is he playing Kirk? We don't know.
Yeah.
Like it could have been anything. So I think the really telling thing was why would he have to watch the military dramas or whatever it was for the role? Like why would that be the point? Is he what's Armitage Hux's Hux, right? So what was Brendel Hux? Brendel Hux. Is he playing Hux's dad? But he's dead. But you know, so when you think about that, what comes to mind of who Richard E. Grant could be portraying? And do you want to see him portray anything from Rey's father to Snoke, like something high caliber like that, or you want him to be more a low key role that we've never heard before?
Like, I will say I did see on Instagram someone photoshopping him to look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I could get behind that because like, oh, maybe he's a Force ghost and this is their way. And I think even the theory was like the dude that played not Thrawn but Tarkin in Rogue One doesn't really look like Peter Cushing, but he was able to pull off the voice and then CG, so they could do that. But like, no offense to the guy that played Tarkin in Rogue One, but I don't know his name, so that's totally fine if he's good or bad or whatever. Like Richard E. Grant is kind of a big deal. He's a pretty well-known actor, so it's like you feel like most often they'll do these roles that are important to them, but they're gonna have to mean something. But relating back to the war part, having to watch war movies, obviously we got like a soldier or warrior going. I mean, it makes me think of the Clone Wars, but it could easily be anything to do with the Empire and the Rebellion. So it's like everyone's sort of fighting, and it's called Star Wars, so it's like they all kind of fight each other at some point. But I don't know. Like, I think I've said it before. I'm not against bringing back characters, but like I'm okay with building new ones. It's a quandary with this because it's like we haven't developed our new characters enough, in my opinion. So why introduce new ones? But I don't know. Star Wars is pretty good at doing that. You can say whatever you want about Rose Tico or Holdo. They're interesting characters, and they get introduced and they do what they're supposed to do. But yeah, I don't know. But I think we were talking about Matt Smith and like how he could be like a young Palpatine in a flashback or something like that. Perhaps Richard E. Grant is all in some kind of flashback of some sort. Maybe he's part of the Knights of Ren or Luke's like Jedi journey after Return of the Jedi. I don't know. It would be cool. But Lars Santeca, that I had not heard of. That would be interesting because I think in the past we've talked about like where that character could go, and we haven't really seen.
Yeah, that's a character that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a character that seems to have been like forgotten.
Yeah.
But to your point on Tico and Holdo, that like they are very interesting, but at almost the detriment to the characters that we got in The Force Awakens, because I'm with you that I don't think the characters have been developed all that much, the new ones, and they really deserve this third and presumably final movie to be developed and take us home on it. So I'm hoping whatever character he ends up being, be it Laura Santeca or Thrawn or Snoke or Palpatine or Obi-Wan or Luke or Leia, whatever he ends up being, I hope that is beneficial for Rey, Poe, or Finn, or at this point now even Rose. Rose has to be clumped into that as well. I hope I hope the purpose of these new characters, these new roles, if they are big, if they're just minor side characters that they just hire these actors, that's one thing. But if they are major roles, I hope they are more beneficial for the characters that we've known than anything else, even more so than the plot. That's what I hope. I really think that the characters that we've gotten deserve to have this final film help them in their growth and really establish themselves in Star Wars mythology as a whole. And I mean, like, look, Rey will always be popular, but is she going to hold up? Is Finn going to hold up? Is Poe going to hold up? Snoke, I think Snoke's already forgotten by most people. So that's what I hope. I hope whoever these new people are really, really support the characters that we've really wanted to grow and love in the last 2 films. And I really think J.J. Abrams loved the characters that he created in The Force Awakens. I think he really, really loves those characters.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Yeah, I don't know. I just think he's such a great actor, so you got to give him something juicy. But yeah, and perhaps there's more people on this project because they've run into the problem where this was supposed to be a movie about Leia, and then Carrie Fisher passes away. So it's like we're filling in the gaps with these characters. I don't know. Because it's like, it is kind of astounding how many new people are in this movie that are known actors, you know, like Richard E. Grant, Matt Smith, who plays Felicity? And she's on The Americans.
Felicity.
What's her name?
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Anyways, shout it out, people at home. She's in it.
Oh my God, her name was right there, and then you said people at home, and I lost it. Felicity.
Felicity.
Hair.
The Americans. And then Donna McMonahan, which, I mean, I think he's a pretty big actor. Some people might not, and he hasn't been in a lot of big projects recently, but like, these are all kind of, and then we got like Lando Calrissian coming back. I like how I referred to him as Lando Calrissian. Billy D. Williams coming back, and then we got a lot of new actors like Naomi. I forget what her last name is, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I can't even.
Well, I'll throw this one at you because recently I was scouring the interwebs, just looking at a few things, and I happened to see that somebody claimed that what's his name from Terminator Genisys. He was a Doctor Who, I believe. I've never seen a Doctor Who, but I think he was a Doctor Who. That guy?
Oh, Matt Smith. Yeah.
Felicity. Felicity.
Yeah, Felicity.
He
Carrie Russell.
Rumor is Carrie Russell. There you go. She's I've probably seen more movies with her in it than Terminator Genisys. So anyway, apparently he is playing a member, Brock, you're going to love this, of the Knights of Ren. Apparently they are back in episode 9, prominent, and he is playing a member of that. Your thoughts on Genisys as a Knight of Ren?
Perfect. He's pale, just like Adam Driver. He's dark-haired like Adam Driver. Awesome. I think I wasn't a Doctor Who fan, but I've seen him in different things. Yeah, you know, he was in The Queen.
He was a Doctor, yes.
Yeah, he was right after whatever. I'm trying to remember all the names. But anyways, yeah, I think it'd be good. And obviously, anything the Knights of Ren, like, oh yes, tell us more. Tell us more. Because like in the Darth Vader comic, they're showing all these like the third sister's seventh brother. I can't remember how it works. But they're exactly like Knights of Ren, and that is really interesting to me. So they should do more of that. Like, let's do it. Well, Darth Vader. It's also in Rebels. Like, a lot of people like that. Let's do it again. So, great idea.
Yeah, this is when you kind of go, man, I wish they didn't say that this was a final trilogy and they just let it expand, because there's so much going on that is brand new to Star Wars that you're like, I want to know more about that. I want to know more about that. And we're going to get everything bundled up in one final film, which, you know, is hopefully going to be amazing, but it'll also be sad.
Yeah.
And then we'll get books, and then the books will be meaningless because someone will make a movie that'll counter everything that we read in the book. But I'm hoping that the Disney Plus is where, you know, a Knights of Ren show would be kind of cool. I don't know if Driver would be into it. He's an Academy Award nominated actor now. He's kind of a hoity-toity big deal. So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, what about Disney Plus? So anything on Disney Plus? Like, they haven't announced anything. They say no feature films there, but we're getting The Mandalorian. We're getting Cassian Andor. Clone Wars, obviously. Well, is there anything that's come to you, Brock, like since going to Disney and now having an in with everyone in Disney? Is there anything that you've been like, ah, man, that needs to be on Disney Plus? Something that we haven't discussed before?
Star Wars related?
No, Disney Plus.
Just Disney in general.
Disney Plus. The streaming service.
No, I understand, but like, just like a Star Wars show on Disney Plus? Or what do you...
Yeah, like is there something that's come to you as of late that you're like, oh man, this is what they should put on Disney Plus?
No, not really. Like, I just read recently a famous stunts coordinator just joined The Mandalorian, so that's exciting. I forget what movie series he was from.
Yeah.
So like, oh good, it's gonna be action packed. I can't remember what it might have been. Fast and Furious for all I know. But for the streaming service, I don't know. I like because the Weiss, the Game of Thrones guys, Weiss, DB, what is it? Their names, anyways. That's gonna be on there, right? I thought I heard they were getting a trilogy, but I was like, weren't they getting a TV series? But is that a movie?
No, it's a saga films. Yeah, films.
Okay, it's films. Okay. So then we got Mandalorian and Aunt Cassian going for that, and you know I'm sure we'll continue with Resistance because it's doing okay, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we talked about this before. Like, Knights of the Old Republic would be cool. I can't think of anything because it's sort of like what they're currently making. Obviously, Disney Plus isn't out, but like seeing what DC Universe is doing, what Netflix is doing, it's sort of like, yeah, they're taking the old model and just sort of flipping it on its head, but then also like you get something that you understand, but then you're like, wow, this is so cool this way and that way. I'm excited for anything, and yeah, I don't know, man. I can't really think of answering that. It threw me for a loop when you said I went to Disney, and I'm like, what?
Well, yes. you haven't in. I know you met Bob Iger while you were there. You guys had lunch.
We need a show about the Three Caballeros.
Oh my God, I would watch that all day. I own that movie. I bought that movie for $45 on VHS at Jumbo Video.
Jumbo Video.
For me, look, they still got to make this pod racing show. Greg Proops has been confirmed to be a Star Wars Celebration Chicago.
Yeah, that's right.
Pod racing is alive and well, and they are embracing it. Possibly this 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace is coming. Brock, I got some ideas for the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace that I want to run by you. That's coming up in May. But are you ready to do some odds making?
Sure, let's do it.
Never tell me the odds.
Okay.
Today's odds are brought to us in part by Side Scroller.
Side Scroller.
Order your copy today.
No.
This book is written by Andrew Fantasia.
Boo.
And look, I don't know. I know a lot of people on like, the West Coast and Southern and all that. They're like, oh, it's warm. But if you've been in the eastern parts of Canada, at least, I think some of the states. I heard Philadelphia is not getting any snow because damn you all. But it's been freezing. And if you need to start a fire and some good kindling, I cannot recommend anything better than getting it. Look at this. This is 600 pages. You will start a fire and it will warm you for days. No, I'm just joking. It's a great book. Pick it up. Christine Allison, Andrew has ordered, so your copy is coming. Mm-hmm. He's just waiting to get his hands on it. Then he will sign it for you and send it to me for kindling for my fire because it is minus 400 degrees where I am right now. It's actually, how cold did it get for you, Brock? Well, you were in Florida, you son of a. It was minus 35.
I wore shorts.
Minus 35 without the wind chill. Yeah. I was wearing shorts too, so not really. Minus 35 without the wind chill. My security camera that I have stopped working. It got so cold. It was just like, nah, not gonna. It was just like, bring me inside now, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So that actually happened for real. You picked. I know this wasn't planned, but you picked a hell of a week to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I completely missed a snowstorm, but I'm sitting in one right now, so hooray!
We haven't. Where I am, we haven't got a lick of snow yet. So.
Oh, we've gotten
cross my fingers that I. Huh?
We got like a foot today, I think.
Yeah, I've been hearing. My dad keeps texting me. I'm like, look, I got home fine. I'm worried about getting to work tomorrow, but I got home fine.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to us by Side Scroller. Get your copy on Amazon. Link should be in the description down below. It is a good book, and if you are in the if you're in Toronto for Toronto Comic Con March 15th, Andrew Fantasia has a table there where he'll be selling Kindling by the pound. All right, here we go. And the odds of trailer and title debuting on the Super Bowl, Brock. I know that the news story you're gonna have is gonna say otherwise, but you never know. Never say never.
I want to say 0, but I'm gonna go 50-50 because anything can happen. The report said that they've bought advertisement, but not for Star Wars. It's mostly for Marvel and Disney movies. So yeah, I'm gonna go full Brock on this one. I would love one because that would be genius. Because she's like, oh, it's happening.
I'm gonna go to 0. Excuse me while I'm because I don't think they need it. I think it's stupid. I think they have Celebration coming, and I have another answer that'll be later on in our odds. I'm gonna go 0.01 because I think being a hard 0 that's a careless move. You should always leave a little room for it. So there is an oddball chance, but I just can't, like why? Okay, everyone's watching Super Bowl. Are you gonna win the Super Bowl? Because you're only as popular until Tom Brady either wins the game at the end or the Seahawks throw the ball instead of running it. Here we go. And the odds of the title coming to us before the Super Bowl. The odds of us getting a title for Episode 9 before Super Sunday, which is coming up in less than a week, Brock.
Yeah. I like that one. I don't think it's going to happen. I think if it's going to come, it's going to be in the next 2 months. But if it's Super Bowl, before Super Bowl, I'm going to go 10%. I would love to know the title, obviously, but like I don't think it'll be this soon.
We got the title for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, on Rob McDonald's birthday, Darth Ward's birthday, January 23rd.
There you
go. That day passed this year. We did not get a title release or anything of that nature. So again, I'm gonna go 40%. I'm a little bit higher on the title coming because I feel like a title for a movie you can, like January 23rd, 2016 or 15 or whatever it was. That was totally random. It's not like any of us expected that to come. You know, so I think a title can be released at any time. Whenever they feel like getting a little bit of positive press for this thing. Unless the title's terrible, then the press might be Attack of the Clones quality. But you never know. I'm going to say 40%, a little bit higher, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, Brock, the final odd. Before Super Sunday, the odds of either the title or the trailer combined, let's say the trailer and the title combined, because let's say it's all coming together in one package, one nice package, the day after the Super Bowl. The day after.
Ooh.
Well, they did it with Solo. They won up their own trailer with Solo the day after the Super Bowl.
That's true. I feel trailers tend to drop on Mondays for some reason. I don't think that's true, but like it feels like that's usually the case. I'm going to go... I don't want to go full Brock again. I'm going to go 45% on it. Again, I want all of these things to happen, and it would be wonderful. Like, skip the whole announcement of the title and just show the trailer or show the teaser, whatever you want to do. Just show it.
It worked for the Avengers.
Yeah. I get why they do it. It's more press. It's more press. I get it. I think announcing the title would be good for Celebration because it gets people even more hyped for it. But the tickets are pretty much sold, so who cares at this point? Yeah.
I have a question for you in regards to the title for Star Wars. What matters? What is more meaningful, do you think? Like, which one matters to the masses more? The title for Avengers 4, which ended up being Endgame, or the title for Episode 9? Which do you think people were more anxious for as a whole, not just the Star Wars fans, because obviously Star Wars fans, for the majority of them, would be looking for that more, but do you think people were like, oh, it's called Endgame, or do you think they'll have the same reaction for 9, or do you think, because I get both these movies are coming out this year, and there's a very good chance that Avengers could make more than Star Wars.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think could hurt Avengers, to be honest, is the time of the year. It's coming out in May, right? May.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how summer is. Summer's like May. First week of May is Avengers. Second week is Spider-Man. Third week is Ninja Turtles. Fourth week is this. And you're like, I'm tired. But Star Wars is going to come out, and I don't know what's up against Star Wars yet, but it's pretty smooth sailing in January. So that's the only thing I can see for that. But there's like a really legit possibility that Avengers will make more. So what title do you think was people were excited more for?
It's hard to judge at this point because they had the Russo brothers dropping on the internet that like, oh, the title of 4 was said in Infinity War. So people were like,
yeah.
And like people guessed Endgame too. So it's hard to make a call because there hasn't, I mean, every time they announce there's a Star Wars movie coming out, they're like, oh, what's the name going to be? It's always a subject of interest. I think if like Mark Hamill or J.J. Abrams came on Twitter and said, it's right in front of you. Look for the hidden Mickey. Like, then it would change things. I think, and I hate to say it, I think people are more interested in the Avengers.
Really?
Well, the name, I think Infinity War really like grabs a lot of people, especially with it's a cliffhanger, right? So it's sort of like, ooh, when's the next one gonna come out? And like Marvel has been pretty good with their schedule of things, right? Like we already knew Miss Marvel. Like I remember leaving Infinity War and like Miss Marvel comes out at this point, and then Ant-Man and the Grasshopper, and then there's another Ant-Man movie coming out, right?
No.
Oh no, sorry. The Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and that was like, it was Infinity War, and then that one's like, we have that, and then we have Miss Marvel, and then those were the 2 Marvel Studios things coming out, even though we got Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse came out as well. But those are the 2 movies in between the big movies, the big event movies. So I think people were like, oh, it's going to have, like, I'm pretty sure I left that theater and like, we're going to get the conclusion to this in less than a year. Or
that's
maybe
nuts.
It was exactly a year.
See,
so, yeah.
I think people on a whole are more excited for the Avengers movie, but I think when it comes to titles, I think Star Wars takes it because Avengers, I think there's a lot of people that will just be like, I'm going to go see Avengers. And there are a lot of people that say Star Wars, but Star Wars names just seem to be more important. Like Age of Ultron isn't an important name, I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, but I think the Star Wars names are a little bit more than the Avengers names. But what the hell do I know? I liked Venom.
I only say that because, and I liked Venom too. The divisiveness of people towards Last Jedi. So it's like, because they're angry about that, and because people are really excited about Avengers, that's why I would say maybe more interested in Endgame. I'm not saying Endgame is an amazing title, but people were like, oh, no,
it's not. It's definitely like Attack of the Clones quality titling. It's like it's cheesy, but I mean it's a comic book, so who cares?
We were talking about it like a couple weeks ago, where someone said it's like it doesn't have awakens, begins, returns, revenge, like any of the typical words that we would all, I think, guessed all at one point. But yeah, no, it's exciting. There's these 2 massive movies, and they're kind of competing for like everyone's hearts, and that's awesome.
And Disney's like, whoever wins, we win.
What was your percentage on that last one? I don't think you ever said it.
31.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna get it. I think honestly they're better off just waiting for Celebration, because Celebration is 2 months after the Super Bowl, 2 months and a little bit after the Super Bowl. They know all of the billions of people that are going, because Star Wars is dead, so only 1 billion people are going. Yeah. But they know people are going to want something, and they're going to want something more than the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary panel or whatever they have. Episode 8 has to be prominent there, as well as the Mandalorian. Look, as well as the Mandalorian, maybe Cassian Andor, something to do with Cassian Andor. Mandalorian is going to be big, but Episode 9, that is the big one. This is the last one. This is what the reality is Rogue One is a great movie. I love Solo. But those movies are nothing to Star Wars, because Star Wars is all about the Skywalker saga. Like, that's what Star Wars is. That's where it bleeds. And we can all love Rebels. We can all love Mandalore. We can all love whatever. But it comes down to Luke Skywalker, blue, green lightsaber, Han getting frozen, Ewoks, Wookiees, Cantina bands. That is what Star Wars is. Episode 9 is the culmination of all of it coming to a head. That they need, like, that is going to be it. They have this opportunity to blow everyone's socks off at Celebration. People that paid good money to be there, more people than ever before, in an auditorium that holds almost 11,000 people. So how can you not, like, if the trailer comes out now, what are they going to do then? And I really think they're going to do something big at that point. Exactly. But I mean, look, the reality is, like, we could get the trailer now, and they could have something cool planned for then as well. Did you give a percentage on that one?
Yeah.
You 45. Went 40 or something. 45, yeah. All right, Brock, news?
News, let's do it. Hello, news. It's time to listen to me talk for 5 minutes. All righty, let's see what's in the news. So, there's a concept artist that works for Lucasfilms named Christian Alsman. He likes to post a lot of his projects, and if you check him out on Instagram at C Alsman, that's CALZMANN, he has a lot of cool work. And he recently, about I think yesterday or a few days ago, posted a concept art from Force Awakens. I don't know if it was ever in the art book, because then this is old news, but it seemed like it hadn't been seen before. But it's a picture of him, Harrison Ford's Han Solo, if you've ever heard of him, in a cantina surrounded by passed out aliens, having had too many drinks, and he's a little grizzled, like not grizzled, just sort of like unkempt. And that was how we were supposed to be originally introduced to Han in Force Awakens. Instead of what we got, the Chewie we're home scene, which is great. So we could have had it both ways, and maybe we've been a little bit sad, but because he's sort of a drunk and his life's going nowhere, and he's stuck in a cantina and not with his wife and son. But like, that's kind of neat to see where their ideas were at that point. And who doesn't love Han Solo in a cantina? So yeah, definitely go check out Christian Alsman's art. It's great. That's one thing I love about Instagram. Concept artists get to post their stuff. There's guys that work for Marvel, and you get to see such neat ideas. As we already mentioned, we will probably, not really, who knows, get a Star Wars trailer for Episode 9. Disney, the Hollywood Reporter has more or less officially announced that they're not going to do it. They have ad space because it's Disney and they are Legion. They have quite a few trailers being shown. I think Endgame's going to be shown. Captain Marvel, Dumbo, Aladdin. There's a whole bunch of different movies. So get excited. People don't like sports. Watch the Super Bowl and eat food and see some cool trailers. Maybe some new footage we've never seen. But as of right now, there will be no Star Wars shown. Maybe it's a misdirect. I'd applaud them if they did that, but I can't really see it happening because, as we just said, it's kind of silly to do it this early. And yeah, so watch it. It's great. I don't even know who the halftime show is, but I'm sure it'll be cool. And Mark Hamill is at it again on Twitter. You know him. He likes to go on Twitter. Fans will ask him questions, and he typically will answer them. One tweeter asked the question, what was your biggest argument you ever had with Carrie, or did you? I think the wording was, what's the silliest argument they ever had? As you know, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher were quite close. He said they had an argument ongoing during like the 80s and the Return of the Jedi time of if Luke is royalty, because Princess Leia, and they are brother and sister, so then shouldn't he be Prince Luke? And apparently she would like say no and then sort of like whatever, but apparently he knew that really made her angry. So it's sort of like, it's interesting that I could have been a prince, and then but years later we find out like their mother was technically a queen for a while, and well, then of course Princess Leia is Princess Leia because she's her adopted planet of Alderaan. I don't know. It's a fun little thing. Mark Hamill's at it again on Twitter. Who knows what he's up to? But yeah, like anyone out there listening, what do you think? Is he a prince? Is there some kind of royal bloodline that we're missing? Who knows? And it's not really a story, but I think Anthony Daniels has just finished filming his parts in episode 9. He tweeted out that he's like, well, I'm all done. Thank you to J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy. And yeah, so that's awesome. We're getting a movie soon. And this has been the Hollow News.
Thank you, Brock, for reading the news live from Coruscant. It is exciting because, you know, I was just thinking while you were reading the news how when you're doing the Anthony Daniels bit, I was thinking about 2 years ago, you around this time, you, me, Andrew, and Rob did our first 4-person panel podcast where we did it on Shadows of the Empire. And then the next week we did a podcast with Aaron. It was the Valentine's Day one. And we were talking like who's Rey's parents and all that. And we were coming up because The Last Jedi was coming. And I remember putting together the year. I didn't do it this year for time, but last year I put together a year in review. And I was just thinking back to all, you know, us talking about what could possibly be in episode 8 and how wrong we were on a lot and how right we were on a lot. And Solo, and you know, I've said this today already, but I love Solo, obviously. But Solo didn't have that. There was nothing like, I wonder if this will happen in Solo. But episode 9, we get to have this fun again. And yeah, we get to be disappointed. If you were disappointed, maybe we'll be disappointed again. But we also have that. We also have this build up and this fun, and that's what makes Star Wars fun, is this lead up to episode 9. And hopefully we get that with the Game of Thrones guys, and hopefully we get that with, you know, more Disney Plus shows and whatever they have coming. So I just want to say, keep it up, Star Wars.
Yeah,
top 5.
Yeah, top 5. What's our top 5 today, James?
Oh, but did you have anything you want to add to that?
Nope.
Top 5 things we're hoping, anticipating to see in the Force Unawakens trailer. That's what episode 9 is the Force doesn't awaken.
The Force goes back to sleep.
The Force goes back to sleep. I like that one. The Force needs 5 more minutes.
The Force has a fever dream.
I'll go first. My number 5. I want to see Finn and Poe. I want to see the Poe-mance. I want to see that going hard. I like those two. I like their chemistry. I want to see more of them together. I hope they have a good time. So that's my number 5. Brock?
My number 5. I know this is a fan favorite, but I'm reluctant to put it higher, even though I want it. I want the Porgs to still be there. Or at least the one Porg that went on the Millennium Falcon. Like, I know you could equate them to Ewoks and they could just go away, but like, you put them in the middle movie, they're walking through the Millennium Falcon, there's a Porg there, yay. That's all I want.
Just off on the side.
Yeah.
I think they're very different from Ewoks in that Ewoks had personalities and were almost characters, where the Porgs are just like creatures, and that's the biggest difference I would say. So I think I'm with you on that one. I would like more Porgs, but I did not put that in the trailer. My next one is Rey's strength. I want to see how strong Rey has gotten in this. I think, was it announced that it's a year and a half after Last Jedi? I believe it says that this one's about a year and a half or so after The Last Jedi. So I very much want to see where Rey is. Has she been training her? Yeah, right. But like, is she stronger now in the Force? Does she have the new Force abilities that Andrew asked you and me about in that episode 9 prediction show? Where is Rey? Where does she stand? What kind of Jedi, non-Jedi, whatever is she? I want to get a glimpse of that in the teaser.
My number 4 is I want to see Kylo Ren's new suit, because it's like, you know, they're going to give him something new because they got to change the toy just a little bit. And now he is Supreme Leader Ren. Like, that would be sweet. So, like, I don't know why I keep visualizing his costume from the first movie, but then all in white for some reason.
Oh, that'd be sick. I would argue the worst thing Rian Johnson did for Star Wars was destroy Kylo Ren's mask, because that thing was marketing gold.
Yeah.
I like it. Totally makes sense in the movie why he does it, but marketing point of view, Every kid was Kylo Ren for Halloween right before The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
My number 3, I want to see the new villain, the new threat. What's out there? What is this freaking movie about? Is it just if it's just Kylo, that's fine. I'm not saying it has to be someone new, but if it's Kylo, I want to see where he is also in the way I wanted to see Rey. Before I want to see where Kylo is now. I want to see the new villain. Does the galaxy think Kylo Ren is a great leader? That's what I really, really, really want out of this. But anyway, who's the villain? What's going on? What the hell is this movie about? Brock, you're number 3.
In the same vein, I'm like, I want to know about the Knights of Ren. Let's put the Knights of Ren in there. Let's find out. Because, like, it's fun. You give something to fight. And then also you can kind of explain Snoke a little bit more. And Kylo a little bit more. If you can, like, get this group. It's like, why do they exist? Why are they the Knights of Ren? Or is Kylo Ren a Knight of Ren? And like it's like the new Darth logo where it's like Darth Sidious, Darth Vader. So is there like a Chad Ren and a Trevor Ren? Like, I want to know.
My favorite Ren is Chad Ren. Brock, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is I want more Poe Dameron in an X-Wing going pew 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 pew. I am going to kill the First Order all by myself. Pew, 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 pew. Because there's no longer a Poe Dameron comic, and I am jonesing for the Poe.
I have a pitch for you for a Poe Dameron episode 9. Poe Dameron is invited to some kind of X-Wing party during Life Day. And he shows up a little bit late to see his ex-wife.
Oh,
he's not wearing any socks. Don't ask any questions. Kylo Ren then shows up to this party and takes everyone at the party hostage. And it is up to Poe Dameron to save everyone at this party from Kylo Ren the night before Life Day.
I now have a blaster. Ho, ho, ho,
ho. Well, no, maybe he has a lightsaber.
I have a lightsaber now. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho.
That was your number 2?
No, that was
number
3. I'm not picturing Poe Dameron Die Hard, but I would watch it. Okay, so there are 4 or 5 new actors joining this that we know about. Obviously, there's going to be more, but there are 4 or 5 prolific, I'll say, roles to be cast. I want to know the identity of one of them, not all of them, just one. I just wanted to know who, because right before the Last Jedi trailer, Rian Johnson was like, she's playing Rose. And I remember Andrew turned to me and we were like, Rose? That's not a Star Wars name. So we kind of knew. But that's what I want. I just want to know who one of these new characters are in this trailer. I keep knocking my earphone out of my ear. Brock, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is... What is Rey? Just like Drax in Avengers, like, where is Gamora, or what is Gamora? I just give us an answer. Yeah, maybe she had trash parents, but like, let's find out if they truly are trash parents and why, or just they don't have to be anybody. Just why did she get left on Jakku? Why?
You know, that was my one biggest problem with The Last Jedi, really, was that they changed her narrative from I'm waiting for my parents to who are my parents?
Yeah.
She never asked that question in the first one. We wanted to know who her parents were, but she never asked. Yeah, so but my number 1, the one thing I want from this trailer is just end it with the damn title. Because
that's true.
You know, and I hope it's called Endgame. I hope it's called The Endgame.
I hope it's called Space Jam Back to Basics.
I love Space Jam. I can't wait to watch the LeBron James one.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I hope Charles Barkley returns, as well as Bill Murray. Is Bill Murray in this one again? Because Bill Murray was great in the. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, Bill Murray is actually in Space Jam. For anybody that hasn't seen Space Jam, he's actually in it. He's not just show up. He's in it.
He's in it, and he does like.
Anyway, this is the.
He's in it a lot.
He's in it more than he's in like half the movies that he's in. He's in it a lot. This is the 115th episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. 100 more to go until episode 9. 70 more to go until Star Wars Celebration. Not really. There's only we're 2 months away from Star Wars Celebration Chicago, where the weather is looking glorious right now. And baseball season I think is happening, so maybe we'll go check out a game if the Cubs are in town. I haven't checked the schedule yet. Unless everybody wants to go see a White Sox game.
I'll do both.
I can't afford that many hot dogs, bro. Anything you want to say before we wrap this bad boy up?
No. Don't support Andrew. No. Check out his Side Scroller. Check out his book. You can order on Amazon, I believe. It looks cool. Yep. I don't want to read it. And check out our Patreon, because this is hard to make when we're in separate cities. So the more things, and just maybe we don't need new equipment. It's just to keep this thing going. But we appreciate the people that think what we're doing is a great job, and we are trying to put out as much content as you can possibly desire, which I don't know. Yes, James.
So I just cut to the end of Andrew's book here. And it's on page 618. Andrew wrote in my copy, "Now don't spoil the ending for anybody," which is exactly what I was about to do, but he told me flat out not to.
That's the very last page?
Well, this is the pronunciation guide, because there's a lot of weird, funky names in it. But I was just going to the end and said, "Now don't ruin the ending for anybody." That is amazing. Check out Andrew's book on Amazon.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot of cool things coming up. Brock, I'll talk to you soon about the Phantom Menace and Clone Wars, Cloning Around. I promise we're doing it because we have to.
Yeah, we promised.
Anyway, Brock, this has been a lot of fun, but unfortunately, you were always scum.
I was. Rebel scum. Boom.
Hey, scumbags. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.